Hey everybody, how are you? This is Heshima Moja, and this is another moment inside the Mojastic mind. I was thinking just the other day as I was talking to a friend that so often we as artists present music or paintings or books or dances or photographs to the world, but people don't really understand the stories behind those works of art, those pieces that we're presenting, those creations that we're presenting. And so I wanted to share a story with you all about one of my favorite pieces off of my album, The Awakening. On that album, there is a piece called Harlem Princess. One morning, about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I was coming out of a jam session at a place called St. Nick's Pub. And I was walking up the street to my apartment, and I decided it was so nice that I would walk the entire way back home to 183rd Street and Broadway. And as I walked out of the club, the sun was just starting to glimpse over the horizon. And just like a movie, the steam was coming out of the grates in the street. And I began to think as I walked through Sugar Hill in Harlem about all of the women in particular here in Harlem who have been maligned and have been misjudged or portrayed in a particular light. And I thought about women that I know in particular, women who I respect a great deal. And I began to hear this melody, which you can hear playing in the video. And I got back to the apartment, and even though I should have been exhausted, I sat down at the piano and I sketched out this tune, Harlem Princess. And then I wrote a piece of poetry to go along with that piece, and that actually turned into a 3-part kind of mini jazz ballet, if you will, kind of a 15-minute piece. And Harlem Princess was one of those pieces. I think the second part that I wrote was a piece called Neckare's Groove, which I never recorded, funny enough. And that was dedicated to a really dear friend who at the time had been dancing with Alvin Ailey. And Harlem Princess ended up on the album and later ended up on a movie written by another dear friend based upon her book Rhythm in Blue. And I'm speaking of my friend Crystal Center Brown. And so that piece is really about telling stories. Harlem Princess is about honoring all of the women, in this case particularly in Harlem, whose stories had been told and who had been portrayed in a way that certainly wasn't true to who they are. So as you listen to this piece, please take a moment and think about what the piece might mean to you. Send me some comments. Thanks for spending another moment inside the Mojastic mind. Please continue to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And also, check out my album, The Awakening, and get your copy on iTunes, Amazon, and Google. I'll see you again soon.